It's my pleasure to talk with you about Egypt, and I hope you are awake. Before lunch we had a hungry speaker with hungry audience, and now we have the dessert from Ethiopia. So I'm not sure if a sleepy speaker to a sleepy audience. So I hope not. If we talk about Egypt and the relation between Christians and Muslims in Egypt, and what does it do with Africa? Actually, Egypt can be considered as an Arabic, Mediterranean, Middle Eastern, Islamic, and African country. So it has many aspects. Many people, they don't consider Egypt as an African country. But I want to show this picture with you. This is a map of Egypt, and you can see that Egypt and its boundaries, borders, they go to the heart of Africa. And the Nile is connecting Egypt to Africa. Another thing, if you want to know is if Egypt is African country or not, ask your football teams. Your football teams. They will tell you. They will tell you if Egypt is an African country.
Nigeria.
Everybody. The religious situation in Egypt today is different from that of most of African countries because Christians are a minority in Egypt. So it's a very important thing to understand that when Islam is the majority, the mentality and the practice of Islam and Christianity is different than from an equal or if Islam is the minority. So it's very important to put this in mind. So Egypt can provide a valuable case study of Islamic dealings with minorities and of minority Christians' approach to Islam. If we talk about Christianity in Egypt, Christianity came to Egypt in the 1st century. The Coptic Orthodox Church considers St. Mark to be its founder, believing that he first preached the gospel in Alexandria about 61 AD. Apart from that, little is known about the history of this church during its 150 years in Egypt. But in the 2nd century, we know about the Theological School of Alexandria, which played an important role in the Christian world. We know about Clement, Athanasius, and Origen, and others. They were leaders of the School of Alexandria. At the end of the 3rd and the beginning of the 4th century, the church in Egypt suffered under the persecution of Roman emperors, especially Diocletian, because of the great number of Christians who died in this time. The Egyptian church was known as the Church of Martyrs. The Coptic Church, or the Egyptian Church, made an historical contribution not only through theology and monasticism, but also in mission work as well. In the 4th and 5th century, the Coptic Church sent missionaries to different parts of the world, including Africa, to Nubia and Ethiopia and other parts of the world as well. But because of the controversy of 451 in Chalcedon, the Coptic Church was divided into two bodies. The majority of Egyptians followed the doctrine of Monophysites and became what is known as the Coptic Orthodox Church. A minority followed the doctrine of Diophysites and gave their loyalty to the Byzantine church. And they were known as the Malachites or the Greeks. The Islamic invasion of Egypt affected the Egyptian church. The country itself gradually changed from being Egyptian and Christian to being one of the most important Arabic and Islamic countries in history. The Coptic Church remained as the national church of Egypt, but it suffered a lot under Islam. Throughout its many difficulties, the Coptic Church maintained its witness to Christ. However, by the mid-19th century, the strength of the Coptic Church was at a low point, weakened by political, social, and economic factors. And in this time, God visited Egypt by sending Protestant missionaries from different parts of the West. And the first Protestant church to be established was the Presbyterian Church of Egypt. It started by American missionaries from the United Presbyterian Church of North America who came in 1854, and they worked in Upper Egypt. In the background you can see a boat, and they used this boat and other boats to sail on the Nile and visit villages. And the first seminary started in a boat. When the missionaries taught the students in the morning and the evening, they stopped by the villages in Upper Egypt, in the southern part of the country, and they preached the gospel first to Muslims, but when there was no results among Muslims, then they turned it to the Copts, and they evangelized the Copts, which led to the establishment of the Presbyterian Church or Evangelical Church of Egypt. Islam in Egypt, Amr ibn al-As, a Muslim military leader, invaded Egypt in 64-41. And then from that time, Egypt was ruled by a line of governors who were appointed by the caliphs in the east. Then the country was ruled by many Islamic dynasties. And we can name all the dynasties, the Turanid and the Rashidis and Mamluks, and then the Ottomans. By the 10th century, Arabic had replaced Coptic as a primary spoken language, and the Coptic language was relegated to the literature only. Egypt's population was no longer mostly Christian, but rather the Muslim had become the majority. Only in the 10th and the 11th century, the number of Muslims started to increase more than the number of Christians. Al-Azhar University and Mosque have held an important position as a leading institution and reference point for the Muslim world. Al-Azhar was started by the Fatimids in 971. It is the oldest Islamic university, and it has a large number of students, not only from Egypt, but also from many other nations. So, Al-Azhar is playing a very important role in Africa. I believe most, if not all, the Muslim sheikhs and dua or missionaries, most of them they graduated from Al-Azhar in Cairo. The teaching and writings of its scholars have been highly regarded by the worldwide community of Muslims Ummah. The majority of the Egyptians are Sunni. We cannot talk about Shia in Egypt. Very, very few number of Shia in Egypt. But also among Muslims, there are different groups. Sufism in Egypt is very strong. Actually, they They say that the Sufis,